Oh, dang. What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 1 million of High Crimes. Now, this is just 37. But the numbers are stacking up, right? Almost at 50. Is Timmy even here? Timmy run away? Yeah, what a dork. What's up, Timmy?
Here.
We just started the show. Are you excited to watch murders?
Murders. Oh, yeah.
Your favorite fetish or whatever, I'd imagine. Alright, so I'd like to go into these blind and everything, so I've never seen this episode. I was going through it for a thumbnail here, but I've never seen this or heard about this one here. And I assume nobody here has as well. That makes it better. So, let's see real quick. What's up, Troy? See Troy in the chat. We should be live on YouTube and Rumble and stuff, so hopefully that does well. Hopefully we get a bunch of people and everything. I don't have all the chats open. But let's just hop right into it. People were complaining about one of the last episodes about me taking too long and stuff. People complaining, new people that came through that ran into the video. Bunch of complainers.
Did you say anything of like sometimes we get high and we make jokes and stuff?
Yeah, like before we get started, I like to always say like it's called High Crimes because we get high and watch these things and make jokes, and sometimes we might make some crude humor having to do with the murderer themselves or the victim or something, but it's all in good fun. It's just jokes, guys. We're just having fun. We definitely do not like murder. It's not nice to murder people. All right, so let's get this started.
The courtroom clips you're witnessing show the moment the defendant takes the stand.
It looked like there were goblins, a lot of them, green, ugly little creatures.
I can't hear it.
What?
I can't hear it.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. For some reason, Discord has been doing this lately, where if I switch to a thing when I've already had one open, it acts this way. You guys can't hear it for some reason. Okay, click it now and it should be fixed, I think.
Okay. The courtroom clips you're witnessing show the
good.
moment the defendant takes the stand.
It looked like there were goblins, a lot of them, green, ugly little creatures. I would never hurt him, not even a hair on his freaking little head.
As bizarre as his statements are, the shocking exclusive interrogation footage we obtained reveals even more chilling comments and outlandish stories behind the tragic death of a 5-year-old.
Stop blaming me for murdering! Hey, nobody said anything about murder. That's what it basically sounds like. I'm not a killer. You really don't know what I know, huh? Okay. Let's see how it is. I won't tell you anything else now.
It was the goblins, Dirt.
Well, guess what? I'm not telling you anything else. I don't like recorders. I'm not much of a media person. Thank you very much.
Oh, damn. He's not a media person. He's gonna be pissed off when he figures out that we're covering him. And he's all over YouTube and stuff. Yeah, I'm not much of a media person. It's like, okay, well, in the last week or two, millions of people have saw this footage. But yeah, in social media. But okay, too bad.
This is 17-year-old Cody Metzker-Madsen. He's in an interrogation following the death of his 5-year-old foster brother, Dominic Elkins. In about 3 seconds, you'll hear him say some of the most...
You saying?
Don't tell me that this kid was the killer he was an orphan and then some family took him in and then he ended up killing their actual kid. Don't tell me that's what happened.
No, it's the opposite. The kid that the orphan got killed, it looks like. I think they were, unless I just heard that wrong, that the 5-year-old is the orphan.
Well, it was the foster brother, so usually the foster's the one who's doing the adoptee.
Let me rewind it.
Person, thank you very much.
This is 17-year-old Cody Metzker-Madsen. He's in an interrogation following the death of his 5-year-old foster brother, Dominic Elkins. In about...
Oh, does that mean he's the I don't know. I guess...
I think it goes either way. We don't know right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
3 seconds, you'll hear him say some of the most bizarre things we've ever heard.
What's up, Mango? If you want, you can come join us in the Discord. We're in the Dank Dumpster Discord.
In an interrogation room.
There was an ice cream cone side bug, though, that was kind of weird. It looked exactly like an ice cream cone. Yet I do not understand. It takes aim, and it shoots. I basically had to go through a lot of ice cream to get through. I had to do ground smash, punching, good grief. Anything you say will be can and will be used against you in the court of law. I've read that actually on Batman before. One time I went on in the ravine all my own.
Me too.
I also saw the same cloak.
I've read that on Batman before. I love that. Great.
Inside the ravine, and there was also a gun down there. It had bullets. I don't know who he is or where he came from, but I think he hurt Dominic. I hate that cloak figure, whoever he is. I hate him for killing Dominic.
On August 31st, 2013, it was a sleepy Saturday afternoon when foster parents...
Oh gosh, we just hit August. And my birthday's in 2 days, guys. So everybody, okay, you better be excited. We're gonna have a big party with lots of drugs.
Don and Julie Kuhlman would receive the most concerning news a parent can ever receive. One of their children, Dominic Elkins, had run off after being injured and was now missing. The mystery behind what happened to Dominic on this tragic afternoon will unravel to reveal lies. Nothing in this shocking case is quite as it seems. Dominic Elkins, 5 years old at the time of this disturbing phone call, was being fostered by longtime specialized foster parents, Julie and Don Kuhlman, in the tiny town of Logan, Iowa. The little boy had only been with the family for a few weeks by this point, but he had seemingly been getting along well with the rest of the family, particularly with the other foster boys who were in the home at the time. On the afternoon of August 31st, 2013, after a morning of waffles and a day spent in the pool, the family had split off, with the father, Don, heading off into town with his friend to meet with his brother for dinner, and the mother, Julie, taking her eldest daughter.
Huh?
The kids were both the killer and the victim was both adopted.
Yeah, that's what it was seeming like. The way they were explaining things.
Only one was.
Yeah.
Daughter Rachel and her friend Dylan into town for ice cream. The rest of the kids, Rachel's 12-year-old twin sister Rebecca, the eldest foster boy Cody, who was 17, and little Dominic, who was 5, all tired from the swim that day, opted to stay home and relax. Ben, the third foster boy in the home, was on a home visit that weekend and wouldn't be at the Kuhlman's farm during the weekend in question. Everything seemed peaceful and serene that day, but as Rachel Kuhlman explains in this exclusive present-day interview, this peace was soon shattered.
We lived out in the country, but it was like 5 minutes or so to get to the little country store to get ice cream. We left my sister, who was going to be like in charge just to keep an eye on the kids. And then it was Dominic and Cody. And we stopped at the front of the property on our way back to chat with my aunt. My grandparents, my aunt and uncles all live on the same 20-acre plot of property. And my mom received a phone call from my sister saying that Dominic was missing. And that we didn't know where he was. Cody was freaking out. He's saying, we don't know where Dominic is. And she wanted us to come home. My mom wrapped up her conversation really quick, and we got back in the car. We went home.
Apparently, shortly after Julie and the other 2 children left, Cody and Dominic headed out to play together in the backyard as they had done countless times before, while Rebecca curled up on the couch with a book in the living room. Everything seemed fine until, after a while, Cody, crying and upset, stomped back into the house with a bloody mark on his forehead. He explained that while they were playing the Roman game, a pretend game based on the Percy Jackson movies, Dominic accused Cody of playing unfairly and had hit himself, then Cody, in the head with a brick in anger before running off towards the ravine. Cody had tried following Dominic but couldn't find him, and so returned to the house to get Rebecca, who in turn called her mother for help. As Rachel explains,
there's a bit of distance between my parents' house and my grandparents' house in the country, and there's this huge ravine that runs more than the length of the property. Enormous ravine. So I said, Mom, why don't you stop the car halfway between our houses, and my friend and I can go like walk along the side of the ravine and see if we see Dominic. And my mom was like, yeah, okay. So she dropped us off and we did that.
After letting Rachel and her friend out, Julie met up with Rebecca and Cody near the house, and the 4 kids and Julie began searching, questioning Cody on which direction Dominic had run and how badly he thought Dominic was injured.
I remember immediately noticing that Cody had blood on his face. Not a lot, just some light speckles on his face.
It wasn't his blood, it was just splattered on his face. It was Dominic's blood, saying because Cody wasn't hurt.
And he was frantic. He's saying, we got to find Dominic. I don't know where Dominic is. We got to find him. He ran off and we have to find him.
Now becoming increasingly concerned that Dominic may be more gravely injured than previously thought, Julie attempted to calm Cody, who was still quite upset, and had him guide them to the last spot Dominic was seen.
It's really hard to put this into perspective, but my mom knew Cody. She knew him very well. She knew his cognitive delays very well, his maturity, all that, she knew him, and she kind of knew how to work him, if you will, so she told him, you need to help us find him. Like, where is he? Let's go find him. And Cody said, okay, all right, okay, I think he went this way. So he takes us to the lower part of our property behind the house and straight into the ravine. Now, there were all sorts of game trails that went down into the ravine, but it was very steep. It's this big incline, and it was in August. So the weeds they're like neck high in this ravine, nettles, all sorts of weeds. But we're down there, and we're trying to get like to some sort of path. And my mom stops all of us, and she starts pleading with Cody. And she starts saying, Cody, all the weeds down here are still high. None of them have been knocked down. Nobody has walked through here. It's impossible for Dominic to be over here. It's not possible. Where is he? And Cody's saying, I don't know. And my mom says, Cody, we can help him. It's okay. Just take us where he is. We can help him. It's okay. You just have to get us there. As I watched this interaction, I saw just a shift or a flip in Cody, and he said, okay, all right, I'll take you to him. And he leads us out of the ravine and all the way to the very end of our property, back into the ravine.
Rachel took this opportunity to call her father to bring him home to help, and after doing so, a thought occurred to
What is
her.
up with that picture of him?
It's like the background kind of matches his shirt. So it kind of looks like he's just like a neck and arms.
It's like his lips, how yellow they are, or whatever. It's like Homer Simpson or something going on here. I don't know.
Yeah, like he got done
bring him
blowing
home.
Homer.
Yeah.
Home to help, and after doing so, a thought occurred to her.
I turned to my mom and I said, should I call 911? And my mom was panicked and choked up, and I don't think she really said anything back to me, but I took that as like, this is bad.
Because I knew something was wrong. He had blood all over his face, like splattered.
We have to call 911. So I called. My little brother is missing. I think he's hurt. This is our address. We're trying to find him. And the phone call was really quick. And so that at that point, police were on their way. Then we get to the second area, and Cody leads us down. It's him. He goes first, and then me, and then my technically younger sister, my twin sister. And I'm following in the water. There's this curve in front of us, and there's a down tree in line over top of this curve. I watch him duck under it and get out of sight. And I remember as I'm running through the water, I had my boots on, like cowgirl boots. So they were like filling with water as I ran. So I lagged behind him a little bit. And then I put my hand on this tree and I ducked underneath of it. And as I came up and I was rounding the corner at the same time, I saw Dominic, this young boy. He was laying face down in the water. And Cody is just standing next to him like, here he is. What do I do now? And I just start screaming at him as I'm trying to run over there.
And I'm screaming at Cody to get Dominic, pull him up out of the water, and because he was face first.
And so Cody listened to me, and he reached down and he grabbed like a fistful of Dominic's shirt, of the back of his shirt, and kind of picked him up by his shirt and just kind of like tossed him onto the bank. Like he didn't really want to touch him, or he didn't know what to do.
He kind of just picked him up, and he wasn't really gentle, which kind of irritated me.
So I run over, I throw myself down on my knees.
Took Dominic over, and by then Becca's next to me, my sister. And he had a big gash on his head, nice big open cut, and a cut on his lip, and he was all scratched up. And
he was just blue in the face and just very obviously beaten, and because of the way that Cody moved him, his shirt was pulled up, like, so his whole torso was exposed as well. And his whole torso was blue and just very distended. My mom is up on the ledge of the ravine. She's still up top. But she can kind of get to the edge and see us. Like we were almost in like a clear spot so she could see us. And she's wailing and screaming and telling my sister and I to do CPR. And now we were 11. We had no idea. My sister tried. She tried to give him a breath and was trying to push on his chest. And I don't know how long I let her do that before I grabbed her by her shoulders. And of course I'm crying and I can't really even speak, but I grabbed her by her shoulders and I just shook my head like, no, just stop. Like there's nothing here.
Meanwhile, on the other side of town, Don is currently rushing.
Yeah, babe.
You wanna know how old I was whenever I learned how to do CPR? And
2.
No, I was 3. My mom said I was even like doing it like the right way, and like I'd put my fingers on like stuffed animals, like chest to find like where their sternum was, and like she said I was doing it like the 100% like way to do it, because my dad was like a firefighter, and so was my grandpa.
Yeah.
And we used to watch Baywatch a lot.
Can't be bad to teach kids that. Most people don't know how to perform CPR, including me. Hold on, let me grab a drink real quick.
Yeah, I think this guy's picture, the reason why it looks so weird is because the background is so blended in with his shirt. The yellow is just probably just the shadow, or maybe just the lighting in the room.
He's floating. His
He's
head.
Homer Simpson. Already said it. It's Homer Simpson, guys.
Rushing out of the
This dude looks
restaurant
so
after
yellow.
talking to Rachel on the phone and decides to call for reinforcements. He tells detectives,
I went out the door and I started getting a bad feeling about it at that point, so I called my dad and hoping he was home, and he was, so I called him and asked him if he could go over there because, he's a few hundred yards away instead of, 25 minutes.
Mick Kuhlman, the children's grandfather, immediately makes his way over to his son's house and finds his family in a complete panic.
And at this point, the police showed up. They were there. So I walked up to them and I said, I'll show you where he is.
What was Cody saying at the time that you guys found Dominic face down?
Stuff like, Dominic, no, like, how could this happen? He started saying stuff like, come back, please, come back, and...
That's after your grandpa got there?
I think he said, Lord help him a couple times.
I know one of my aunts told the police officers that they had to get Cody out of there before the men showed back up, before my father and my father's friend got back. She said, you need to get Cody out of here. And I mean, it was entirely obvious that he had done it. He had the blood on his face and everything.
It was at this point that Dawn arrives home.
So then I hurried, you might say, flew home pretty fast, and by the time I got there was a couple of sheriff's cars and a couple of other vehicles. I didn't really pay attention to most of them. I just rode down front and parked the bike and then walked back to where Rachel was, and she said that Dominic was gone. They couldn't bring him back. And then I was looking around trying to kind of, it really didn't sink in. So I was trying to talk to her, and then the rest of my family walked up, and as they were walking up, and then it was pretty obvious what happened, or at least the end result was that Dominic was gone.
Okay.
As most of the family stood in heartbroken silence in the yard, police began the exhaustive process of organizing and cataloging the various points of the crime scene. Officer Jeff Kilpack slid down the muddy banks of the ravine to stand next to Mick Kuhlman and Cody, the only two who remained next to Dominic's body. According to this Harrison County Police report, the officer could see a small boy lying on his back with his feet in the water. He could also see that his face was bloody and that his body was muddy. He was motionless and his color was blue. He checked the body for any signs of life, but the body was cold and moved as he shook it, as if the body had already gone into rigor. He noted the obvious head wounds, which were no longer bleeding. The report also states that Cody was crying hysterically and said, "We were playing bricks." Mick asked him, "Did you do this, Cody?" And Cody began to scream and cry even harder. Not only would a little boy not have the strength to inflict the severity of damage found on his body, but it seems he may not actually have been the kind of difficult child the Kuhlmans had expected. When discussing why Dominic's mother placed him in foster care, Julie explains how her experience with the little boy differed.
So why was he taken away from his biological mom?
I don't know the exact answer. I don't know.
They don't tell you that?
They just say that parental rights were severed, and I don't really, like this last one, I had Dominic, and I thought, why is he in foster care? And I was told she put him in foster care because she needed help. So I just thought, wow, that's really...
And she told you that?
No, the caseworker did. I was told that he could, cuss like a truck driver, bite, kick, scream, attack you. And I thought, oh, great, When I had him, the only thing we were working on with him, he never did any of that stuff to me. Cody said he called him an a-hole. And I'm like, well, what were you doing, And I wasn't doing anything. I was playing the game or whatever it was. And I'm like, well, I told Dominic, you can't say that word. It's bad. You have to go stand in the corner. And he'd go stand in the corner. I'm sorry, Judy. And then he would say things that we were working on. He'd say, oh, my God. And I'd say, I just talked to my husband, like, he's finally got that figured out. You don't say, oh, my God. Say, oh, my gosh, it sounds better. He was quick, and I was telling my husband, he's really smart. This kid is smart. And he'd say, like, me and so-and-so. And I'd say, you don't talk like that. That's not how you speak English. You say, like, Rachel and I go out and play. Or we were working on simple things like that. None of the cussing or kicking. But he did.
That's some lame shit. Who cares if you say me and so and so and I, right? Does that really matter at all at any point? That, like, with us talking, like, I could get like not wanting your kid to be going around calling people assholes, but it's like it's just such a lame thing. No, you say so and so and I. And you keep the salad fork on your left side, and the meat eating fork on your right. It's like, oh, fuck all that shit.
You know what I think probably happened?
Huh?
I think that both this Cody and Dominic both were like in the foster place or whatever, and that Dominic, the little one, like whenever he was like 3 or something. He was just like, he tortured Cody at the foster place, so the family adopted him, had him for a couple years, and then the family adopted Dominic, and And then he was like, I'm back, and they're gonna like me more than you. They're gonna send you back. And like that Dominic probably got in Cody's head, and Cody just couldn't handle it. And
yeah, it seems like this kid is extremely mentally disabled here, and he doesn't know how to deal with the right different situations. And it seems like the younger one was like maybe every now and then being a bit negative or whatever like that, and he didn't know how to be the bigger brother and deal with it or whatever. He instead used a brick to deal with it.
That Cody kid seems like a victim of neglect, like how he talks and carries himself. I think that's why he seems like on the spectrum or something, is because like that's how victims of neglect are. They use their imagination a lot to explain things. Like they constantly lie and make up stories that seem more interesting, so that you keep talking to them, keep giving them attention.
Yeah, I've met people. I feel like I know what you're talking about a bit there. I've met people like that will just make up bull crap. Like there's this one dude that I hung out with, and I remember him telling me and my friend that he gets paid like $50 an hour to do. He worked as like somebody in construction that like he said all he did was hold a sign. He said he got paid like $50 an hour, and then he went on about how he's like then I don't know. We figured out that it's like the exact opposite. He's broke living with his parents and stuff, but he'll just tell stories to make you interested in him and everything, and that kind of shit's lame. Yeah. But maybe it's a sign that he was abused, possibly. I'm not sure.
Did have to be restrained Thursday, I was told, in school. He tried to fight and kick somebody. And wow, that's all okay, so how's he going to be? But my brother was the bus driver. He said he was fine in the car. He came home, he was fine. I've never seen any aggression from this little boy, none.
As Julie gives her account, her palms are down,
See, I told
which
you.
indicates confidence in what she's saying.
He had him fooled. The Dominic was like the Omen. He's like a little Damien. They never seen the evil that Dominic. He's like I'm little. They like me because I'm more cuter.
Yeah, he was just messing with. What's up, Bill Hicks? You're lying. Oh yeah, exactly, Bill Hicks. There's those random kids that you run into where they just tell you some like silly ass crap, and What were you saying, young minded?
Hold up. There is this kid, but he was sick. He was on the spectrum. He would go around school acting like he was a Navy SEAL. He would go around acting like he was in war.
Yeah, that's what Bill Hicks just said, that he knew some kid that said he was a Navy SEAL in school. But yeah, some people are just weird like that, and like for instance, the dude that I was just talking about, one time we were hanging out with him on like Xbox or something, and he was like bragging about his girlfriend and stuff like that, and then he showed us a picture. And it was like this really attractive girl, but he's not the most attractive guy himself, and he's also kind of weird and offish and stuff, and so I'm like, and so I like mess with him for like a while, maybe 20 or 30 minutes, trying to get it out of him, trying to get him to confess, and finally I got him to admit it, and he's like, fine, yeah, that's not my girlfriend, it's really just this girl I really liked in high school, but she didn't like me back. It's like, you go around with a picture of your crush from high school that didn't like you back and lie to people and tell them that that's your girlfriend. That is the most pathetic and weird shit ever. Wow. But that's the kind of weird he is. Like,
If you thought her pussy was dry before.
Oh God. Yeah, imagine how weird. Like, imagine how weird she'd feel if figuring out that the dude from high school is doing that. That's like stalker shit right there. Like doing that kind of stuff. That's weird. That's creepy.
In addition, her nonverbal and verbal timing are well aligned, which further indicates that she's likely being truthful. She may have considered the behavior she observed to be normal for a child Dominic's age. It's interesting that she's covering her mouth when talking about his school restraint. This is a sign of discomfort, which is to be expected from an adult who has come to care about a child. The thought of him being physically restrained would likely be disturbing for her, since she hadn't encountered any issues with him at home. However, it's important to note that he had only been in the home for a few weeks, and many children with behavioral issues are able to keep it together, so to speak, for the first few weeks in a home. This is generally referred to as the honeymoon phase of placement. This happens much of the time in foster care or residential placement until the child feels safe enough to drop their guard and express themselves in a way that is normal to them. It seems Dominic was starting to feel safe and secure in his new home environment, and his foster family was starting to work on helping him improve his behavior. Whatever the reason for Dominic's placement, those around him all seem to agree that he was, at heart, a very sweet little boy, full of affection. Obviously, officers decided that Cody needed to come in for questioning. After securing Cody in the patrol car, Mick told the officers that he suspected Cody may have been the one to hurt Dominic. Officer Kilpack then instructed the rest of the Kuhlman family, as well as Rachel's friend Dylan and his father, to follow them to the police station as soon as they were able to be interviewed. As Rachel described,
I don't know what order all of this happened, but I know we went inside and I got myself cleaned up. I was covered in mud, head to toe. So I got myself cleaned up. I got my sister cleaned up, and they had us write a statement. And they said, just write down everything everything that happened that you can recall to the best of your ability. And then we went to the police station, and it was like my whole family there. Because my dad showed back up. So my parents were there, my dad's friend, my friend, both of my grandparents, a bunch of us were there. And we were there the entire night. They interrogated all of us. I know it was really hard on my mother.
Julie Kuhlman, the foster mother who would sadly pass away just 2 years after this tragic event, was beyond heartbroken at this time. As the family sat in the waiting room at the police station, various family members took turns consoling her, as in the many years of caring for foster children, and even specializing in difficult children with behavioral problems, nothing like this had ever happened.
What did you think about him screaming like he was?
I was freaked out.
Have you ever done that before? Started really screaming?
Mm-mm. Well, sometimes when he gets aggressive, my mom will restrain him so he doesn't hurt anyone, and he'll moan and growl at her, and just.
Did he do that at that time?
Mm-mm. He was crying, and he wasn't being aggressive towards us.
Meanwhile, Cody, who had been hysterically inconsolable just minutes before being put in the patrol car, is sitting in a detective's office, remarkably unfazed all of a sudden. The following never-before-seen interrogation has been analyzed by a licensed professional counselor and a licensed attorney.
Here we go.
As you'll see, Cody's strange comments and bizarre antics are just beginning.
It was pretty funny. But then one night I actually saw it. I was like, oh! It just went past my face. I flipped out. I woke up and then he jumped when he saw it. Everyone was freaking out. They thought it was a ghost. Then it was gone. Yep.
It seems as though this officer has essentially been tasked with the role of babysitter for Cody until another member of law enforcement is available to question him, hence answering his phone instead of making an effort to build some rapport with Cody.
Okay, great, thank you. Bye. If you ask me, it's getting colder and colder now. I'm twisting up my legs to keep them warm. Bursting out my hands. That's better. There was an ice cream cone side bug, though, that was kind of weird. It looked exactly like an ice cream cone. Yet I do not understand. It takes aim, and it shoots. I basically had to go through a lot of ice cream to get through. I had to do ground smash, punching, good grief.
Could you grab me some coffee, please?
Some what?
Coffee.
More coffee? Really?
Thank
You
you.
just
I thought
drank
that's
all
what
that?
everybody. Yeah.
You just drank all that? Good grief.
I'm a coffee drinker. What's that? Yes.
He sits huddled in the chair, prattling on about his strategy in the Wreck-It Ralph video game on the Nintendo DS to the detective, who sits in stony silence except when talking to other officers.
When he was talking about ice cream and shit, he's talking about a game. I'm like, what is he fucking going on
I thought he was
about?
talking about Pokemon or something. When he said I had to do ground
I thought he was
smash.
talking... Yeah, I thought he was just talking about real life, so I'm like, what is he talking about? An ice cream and shooting, and he had to go through a lot of ice cream, ground smashing. Like, I don't even know. I had no clue where to go with that. But now it makes sense. Wreck-It Ralph, the game.
Takes phone calls without
Hey, I'm gonna do
hesitation.
something that might get some more people watching.
Yeah, that would be cool. Got a little bit of people here. If you guys are enjoying the stream, feel free to tip to help support the stream. We got a little goal right here. You can come through on the Dank Dumpster Streamlabs and help fill up that cool guy goal. Look, Jack wants you to hit the goal. Look how cute he is. Can you say no to that face? Dirt, are you gonna come join us? Gotta join us, Dirt.
Well, I know exactly why you drink coffee now. But lucky for me, I don't need coffee at night. I stay up without the meds. If I don't take my meds, then I stay up.
Awesome. Thank you.
If I don't take
You got
plenty of water?
I'm good. But did you need more water?
No, it's alright.
Okay.
Besides, I don't need to get more water, whereas I'm gonna need to go to the bathroom.
Sure.
Hello, how's it going?
Good.
Good, I'm Laura. I'm with the DCI. We're trying to hurry to get somebody with you. I know you've been waiting around a long time.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah, you doing okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? You hungry?
Here we go again. You just made me hungry again. Just when you, every time when someone says something about food, I get hungry.
So you are hungry?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What do you want to eat?
I've already had I already
Chips and
had
candy bar. Just had one of both.
Oh, okay, awesome. That's good.
That's about all we
Is that
got.
your favorite?
That's whenever
Chicken
you
candy
ask
bar?
for an endless shrimp buffet.
Okay, well, we'll be right with you.
Yeah.
I want that's your last meal. I want an endless shrimp buffet, and then you just eat shrimp the rest of your life and be like, I'm not done yet.
Or you just take advantage of it and ask for like really nice shit. Don't be like, oh yeah, McDonald's cheeseburger. Be like, I want a, I don't know, a T-bone steak, well done, with this and that on it. Like, ask for like some high quality food.
Did you ever see the guy that was being interrogated, and they asked him if he wanted a bag of chips? And he just kept asking for another one.
What I saw of that was like a quick video where it just showed it stacking up, and then a video of him handing them all back, and then be like, "Nah, yeah, I just want one." I was like, "Is that real? I haven't seen that."
Yeah, he was just like, "I don't want to talk." After he gets them all, he's like, "Yeah, I don't want to talk. Here you go."
Mm-hmm.
When Nicholas Rosas was saying that kid Donkey Kong, the other kid, is making me think, what if when he was explaining the Wreck-It Ralph thing, what if he did the same thing to the kid?
Yeah, he hit the kid with an ice cream cone.
What the ice cream cone, but the ground and pound and all that?
Yeah, I don't.
Like, he might have been like smashing him the same way or something, or thinking that he was like Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, I blame this all on Wreck-It Ralph. This is video games, and Wreck-It Ralph's fault, motherfucker.
Rated E games.
Yep.
Oh boy. Great, she just made me hungry again. Just what I need.
If Cody's foster family's suspicions are to be believed, Cody, a 17-year-old, has just caused the death of his 5-year-old foster brother. Yet he sits here mere hours later, talking non-stop about a video game. This is extremely bizarre behavior, and in our exclusive interview with Rachel, she's able to shed a bit of light on his background.
Cody lived with us for, I want to say 3.5 years. He was one of our longest kids that we had live with us. He was very cognitively delayed, exceptionally so. I remember my parents estimating that his mental age, if you will, was probably around 6 or 7. He was intelligent, but he was very immature, very childlike, had very childlike interests, and his temperament was very volatile.
He has hurt chickens before. We had one kid that would stomp on them.
Okay.
But I don't know if that's what Cody did. He'd usually throw it in the ravine.
At the time, detectives didn't know the extent of Cody's mental issues and could only be disturbed by his behavior. It was at this point they placed him under arrest, though it appears they did so as calmly and gently as they could so as not to upset him.
Sunfire in the YouTube chat, she said, "I don't eat ocean bugs, LOL." Shut the fart up, Sunfire. Okay, crabs and shrimp are amazing. Alright? Get with it, Sunfire. Bugs from the ocean are freaking delicious.
Shrimp is by far the best food.
Yeah, one of my favorite things to get is like I love sushi, and getting like shrimp tempura sushi or whatever. Like that stuff's yummy. Yeah, see, Red Eye gets it.
This seemed to work, or perhaps it was just that Cody didn't really grasp the situation.
What'd you say, young man?
I like me some calamari.
Some calamari? You're lying.
Evident by his reaction to the detective reading him his Miranda rights, where Cody excitedly interjects that he'd heard it before on an episode of Batman.
I've heard someone say this. You have the right to remain silent. That means you do not have to say anything. Anything you say will be can and will be used against you in the court of law. I've read that actually on Batman before.
For minors in Iowa, both the right to remain silent and the right to counsel can be voluntarily waived if a parent or guardian has been notified of the arrest and interview, which is the case for Cody, as he is over the age of 16. However, the court will still evaluate statements made by a minor to determine whether they're admissible. Factors that come into play include the opportunity for the child to consult with a parent, guardian, or lawyer, the child's age, level of education, level of intelligence, and whether or not the child was advised of their constitutional rights. Some of this changes depending on how the minor is eventually charged, such as being tried as an adult, but that happens well after the interrogation and is handled by the court. The two investigators begin the interview, chatting with Cody about his life and little details about his family, adopting light and friendly tones as they ask him questions. After a few minutes, they start by having Cody recount what happened that day before he went into the house to get Rebecca.
Dylan, Rachel, and Miss J. I forgot that Dylan was there. Anyway, Dylan's dad and Dawn just went on a bike ride, so Dylan's dad took Miss J's bike. They were all somewhere far away.
You decided to go play in the ravine?
No, we were right beside the ravine.
Then you say, what do you mean, you and
Dominic?
Okay.
The female investigator is actually an agent with Iowa's Division of Criminal Investigation, a highly elite program that runs statewide investigations for the Major Crime Unit. As she leads the interrogation, you'll notice she spends most of it sitting in the confession pose. It's important to know that as humans, we naturally mirror body language when we're engaged in conversation with others, and our body language can affect our openness and mood. This officer is taking advantage of this by modeling the confession pose in an attempt to get Cody to join her in the pose that is most likely to elicit honesty and a confession from a suspect.
See, we were playing Roman, like Greek mythology. Sure. Not to mention, here's a little clue for you. Here's a little Greek thing, but it's just a little starter, so that way I can calm down. What has 4 wings and has a and is red, and yet it is one of Hades' minions? Starts with an F.
I don't know. What?
Fury.
Oh.
That's the one that actually got Percy.
Okay.
I hate that thing.
Yeah.
4 wings, flapping separate ways.
You lost me on that one.
See, 2 wings go this way, 2 wings go that way.
Okay.
The bottom ones go this way, the top ones go that. And
So,
then
back to the house, when I go to the town, it's you,
and
Dominic, and anybody else on?
Only Peanut was in the house, though.
Whose idea was it to go outside?
Miss J. Right before she leaves, she wanted me and Dominic to go play.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to play. It was a very long time when she was gone. So that's when we started playing the Roman game.
And how do you play Roman game?
Basically, I'm Greek, right?
Okay.
He's Roman. He doesn't know how to sword fight, so I tried to teach him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like this. No, I'm gonna work by myself. He's basically saying that he's invincible.
So what was he using? He was Roman.
Well, Romans have imperial gold sabers in Greek mythology.
Okay.
And Greek has crystal bronze. So it's kind of
So what were you guys actually using?
Well, he had the gold, imperial gold. I had the crystal bronze. We just used invisible.
Oh, okay.
Then he picked up a stick and tried to, but I was like, no sticks. And he's like, all right. He throws it in the ravine. It's funny. It's funny how he throws. He's like, well, I'm like, are you okay? He's like, I was like, it's kind of funny, but still. Anyway, back to business.
So you guys playing like by the house, by the cars, by the animals?
There's this area where Rachel and Peanut and Truman made this. Truman is their cousin. So if you want me to tell you about him right now, I can.
We'll get to him in a little bit, but keep going. Like you guys playing.
Anyway, there's this thing that is like a portal, basically. It's basically like a barrier, a shielding, like off of Percy Jackson, the first one. You go like this to open it. You go through, put it down. So we started playing. I was basically in the barrier because it was weak, thanks to the second movie. Yeah, that all. And I started fighting him. And he's like, I'm going down too. Oh, he goes, Dominic. He didn't listen. Boom.
What Cody is referring to here is the old rope swing that seems to have been tied to a log that set out over the ravine. Investigators would note that there was an old muddy rope lying in the bottom of the ravine, but it's unclear what was done with it.
That's when he hated me.
Okay, how did that happen?
He's basically saying, I'm going on the rope. So he just steps down. I tried to get him with the sword, but basically...
Scooby, he's only 17. This kid is 17.
He's like, no. So we basically went swinging down pretty hard, I guess. Probably.
He obviously has some sort of mental disorder here. I don't know what exactly, but he's 17 as well, so he is a kid still.
I don't know.
His sister said that he's like mentally like 6 or 7.
Yeah, you could tell it's something like that. Yeah, I didn't hear that part, I guess.
That's when it broke.
Did you see him get injuries to his head?
I saw blood. I was like, Dominic. He was tumbling, literally tumbling. And he splashed in the water like this, face up. I saw blood going down the river. I was like, is he injured? He gets up like this, and I saw a red streak going down on his head. blood. And then what? I was scared. I didn't even go down. He just threw rocks, so I tried to dodge most of them, but one popped me in the nose, so that way the rest guided me in the arms and legs.
This is likely Cody's attempt to explain the blood witnesses and detectives noticed on his face when Dominic was found, by insinuating that it was his own blood from the wounds Dominic had given him by pelting him with rocks. It should be noted, however, that at the time of his intake, Cody didn't actually have any scratches, bruises, or injuries of any kind.
You're at the top 3.
What's up, Dirty Dirt?
What's up? I've been following. I know what's going on. This dude's about to blame the goblins.
You're lying. You weren't paying attention.
The only thing I can pay is attention.
Wow, you broke bitch. That's all you got. Don't have anything else to pay. Okay. Let's see, I was fixing the cameras.
Well, I must admit that I am definitely and truly not high enough for these crimes, so I must indeed roll myself a spliff, as the youngins call them.
You turn the shades on.
Oh,
I smoked a spliff last night.
Dang.
Do what?
I smoked a spliff last night. It was like my first time in like fucking like almost 10 years since I did that.
I lied. I'm not smoking an actual spliff. I'm just going to roll a joint. A spliff, for those watching at home, is when you put tobacco in it to make your green tobacco, stretch it out and flip it.
I don't know. I thought do some people not use spliff as just like a reference to just a joint?
Well,
I don't know.
Some people don't. Well, technically a joint is tobacco and weed because that makes it a joint. It's the joint of the two, but the vernacular has changed, I guess. Imagine
It's just a Jamaican.
It's
a Jamaican thing.
Yes, we can start the
Stoke and Shart.
We could start the show now. Dirty's here, right? We're gonna start the video over, guys.
Yep. All right, roll it back about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm up to date. I've been watching. I've been mobile.
I've been paying attention. He knows. He knows it's
Dominic's fault.
Yes. Yeah, it's Dominic's fault. I'm not even gonna blame Dominique. I'm not even gonna blame Spec. It's not them. It's definitely Dominique.
You're still on top? Yeah. I fell down after that.
I love your reaction to that, Dirt. You just don't know what to say.
So I decided to scramble because one got me in the gut, though, and it hurt pretty much. I was like,
The way Cody has phrased this further shows that he lacks the ability to be deceptive in a way that's believable due to his cognitive deficits. The account he tells sounds as if there are two young children engaging in an altercation, but it's not an even match. Cody is much bigger and stronger than Dominic. Clearly, he's completely out of touch with reality.
And Dominic was down by the water.
Too long.
He was down.
Yeah, he's talking like it was a Dragon Ball Z battle, like
he was doing the ground smash maneuver.
He grabbed me and smashed me to the ground, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna live. And
he grabbed a stick, and I said no sticks, and then I picked up a brick, and and then he fell down the hill. He tumbled, and then he got up.
He threw rocks at me, and it hurt so bad. And you see a replay of it, and the kid's like, and the rock hits the ground in front of him. It's doesn't even hit him.
He stood up in the water, and there was blood, and then I left.
I ran away. Yeah, let's see. Let's see what this goes.
No, he grabbed the brick. I saw that, and he started running. I was hurt. I just inched over so I could peek. That way I could know what he's up to. He noticed I was gone, so he grabbed the brick and started smashing his face and started running while he smashed.
Oh, God! Don't you love... Oh, my God!
Yeah.
I'm sorry. He really blew my mind with the direction he took it.
I told you, Dominic set him up.
Yes! Dominic did this all on purpose just to get him in trouble.
They're definitely gonna take me in now.
Oh my god. Dude.
I still might not be cute, but I'll be cuter than you after this.
It's like one of these things where someone gets stabbed like 40 times, and it's like, yeah, we got into a wrestle, and then he grabbed a knife and he started running away from me, stabbing himself. And I'm like, no, stop! People think I did it! Stop!
You know, I tried to take the knife away from him, and that's why my fingerprints were all over it.
Yeah, I was just trying to help him.
Fuck.
He stops short, he gets under, starts smashing his face again while he's running. I didn't see him trip. I didn't know.
Yeah. Why was he smashing his own?
I know he was almost to a deep spot, though. I did know that. But I didn't know if he knew that. I don't know what to do. So I just went to grab Peanut. And she called Miss J. And she got home. When she got home, everyone started looking.
The investigators listened patiently to Cody's Percy Jackson-laced explanation for a few more minutes, but both know by this point that little Dominic's brutal injuries could not have been self-inflicted.
Nope, they were. The kid killed himself with a brick,
suffering multiple fractures and broken teeth.
Oh,
Detectives
gosh.
also have the statements gathered from every other family member before Cody's interview, stating that everyone believed Cody had done something to Dominic to cause his injuries. For example, this is what Don, the foster father, said when asked directly.
What do you think happened?
Well, Cody's had a tendency in the past to lose his temper and be mean to people. And I know that he has a tendency to play. I mean, we don't let him play rough video games or watch really, rough movies or, WWF or nothing like that, because he doesn't seem to know the difference or realize, arms can be broken by just goofing off.
Mm-hmm.
I have no reason to think anybody in my family lied to me, so I think Cody probably lost his temper, and I don't know Dominic well enough to, I don't even care at this point who started it. I guess it doesn't matter. But.
With these facts in mind, the investigators began to press Cody a little harder and try to coax him back into reality.
You and I both know that's not really what happened, is it?
It is.
Okay.
Stop being such negative.
Well, Cody,
yeah.
You know what we do for a living? We're officers, okay?
I
we
know
do
what
this
you
all
are.
the time. What is that?
Really, do I have to say it? I'm not no jail person, okay?
You're not a jail person?
Not a jail person.
Okay.
Well, I may be in jail quoting right now, but I'm not a person that needs to be in jail.
Okay, when they go out to
I might
the scene,
agree with that.
They find this
I'm not a criminal.
He doesn't deserve to be in the same jail as everybody else. He should be in a different kind of jail.
We need the funny farms back, dude.
It definitely needs to be treated serious, the fact that he's mentally disabled and stuff and everything. It makes a big difference with it. With how they need to go about treating this. So yeah, I do hope he didn't just get put in a prison like any other person that a psych ward or something, Nicholas, one of those things, I don't know. Yes, Kabibi. What were you saying, something else, Negan?
Yeah, he would get like better care and like people like him and Christian and Cyrax and shit like that. They would all like have way better.
Do you think Cyrax is like that? He's on that level?
Yeah, he can't take care of himself. Look at his fucking head, man. Like he doesn't bathe, he doesn't brush his teeth. Like just simple hygiene things. Like people who refuse to do that. Like I think that they're mentally unfit. Like my own dad. My dad had gingivitis real bad. He rubbed snuff since like the age 8 or something like that, and like he quit brushing his teeth whenever he was like, like he would put like dip like the snuff in, and like he was like 8 years old when his parents let him start doing that, and
that's the right age to get him started.
Yeah, and he was like 49 when he died of bowel cancer, but like I think my dad was like a bit slower and stuff like that, and like by time I came around, it was like already too late for him to like he would have had to get all if he wanted his mouth fixed, he would have had to get 100% all his teeth removed, and he'd still probably have problems after that. But yeah, I think people like Cyrax and Chris Chan. I don't think King Cobra needs to be in a place like that, but Jared, I think needs to be put in a place like that where they can be like monitored, and just for like the overall like safety of the normal people. Let's not like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Jared's on the same level as this dude on the
What's
screen.
up, you guys? It's me, Jared Genesis, live from the halfway house.
Yeah, I think he needs to get a job and stay away from schools. That's what needs to happen with him. Seriously,
I don't know. Maybe
he
he'd be
needs
institutionalized if he's that much a danger to children.
if he touches some kids or we see some plan for him doing that, then let's do something different. But other than that, he needs to just get a job and be just. Yeah, I don't think he's
Grow
not.
The fuck up, Jared. 8-year-olds can't consent.
He's not this kid. He doesn't have the brain of a 7-year-old. He for some reason is stuck in this like mature whatever state where he wants to be like 13 still. He wants to never leave being 13. But I don't think Jared's like mentally disabled like what we're seeing on the screen here. Or who else did you mention?
Cyrax.
Chris Chan. I don't know much about Cyrax, but Chris Chan is another example. It's like Jared is not like Chris Chan. But Chris Chan is like the dude on the screen here. They need to be in a special place. Jared needs to get a fucking job and like just stop being a stupid bitch, because he is definitely an able person and stuff. He just needs to stop being like G Money and chasing or wanting to chase. I almost want to say 15-year-olds, but the number gets way lower with Jared.
Yeah, cut that in half. That's
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Jared does need a nice padded cell to reevaluate things. We can have that debate another time.
But all right, yeah, let's continue this.
Okay. Nobody accused you of being a criminal, okay?
That's basically what's assumed. Do you know what I think is important here, Cody?
That's not what we're saying.
Cody, do you know what I think is important here? So when I was sitting here listening to you tell your story, I could tell that you're sad.
Really? Because I couldn't. He's talking about Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah. In fact, the cop probably doesn't think that at all. He's just trying to go a certain direction with it and
tug on his heartstrings and get him to realize, hey man, you realize how fucked up this actually is? I can tell right? You know that this is fucked up, right?
Yeah,
that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, because if he can get him to start maybe crying a little bit or something like that, then maybe he can get a confession out of him.
I can tell that.
That's why you don't need to have empathy.
You know that.
Right? Be like me. For once, guys, come on.
It's intriguing to note that the moment they call him out and show they don't believe him, he barriers up with his arm and leg. Though we know Cody has some serious mental health issues, it's still his automatic reaction and goes to show how innate these kinds of behaviors are.
I think what could really help, and probably help you, is to kind of just let it all go. Just let it all out, and all that pressure and that weight.
There is no weight. I have no weight on me anymore. I already let it all out. I just told you everything I could about what happened. Why do you need more from that?
Well, just because we need to make sense of the situation. And some of the things you're telling us makes absolute perfect sense. But some of it doesn't fit. And we're just trying to get...
He plays baseball.
I understand.
What do you think I meant? He has a strong arm for batting, strong arm for pitching. Why doesn't that make sense? If he could hit as hard with a bat, then obviously he can hit hard with a brick. I'm not saying that any of this is wrong. But right now, what you guys are trying to make me do, it's basically wrong. Okay? Just gonna make me mad.
For a bit of context on these last couple statements, it seems Cody is referring to whether or not Dominic was actually strong enough to hurt himself with a brick. It comes out of nowhere, but may indicate where Cody's mind is at this point in time.
We're not trying to make you do anything. We're not trying to make you feel angry.
Well, you are.
I like how he's tapping
I
his
know you
foot.
cared about Dominic.
Like, you motherfuckers.
He was your buddy.
I'm gonna give you a
That's your
talking
buddy.
to.
Your Greek mythology buddy, right?
Didn't know much about Greek mythology.
But he wanted to. He followed you around.
Mostly, yeah.
Okay. So I know you cared about him. And he obviously looked up to you. Right? And I know that 5-year-olds can be a little pain sometimes following you around.
Actually, no, that's not what the pain was.
What was the pain?
Well, first off, he may have been good at pitching, but still it hurts.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. Nobody wants to get hit with rocks or anything. It's not
Scooby said, I would like to talk to your manager. Yeah, he's... yeah.
Then why would he hit himself? I do not know. Okay?
Okay. So what I was telling you before is, so when our crime scene team people go down there, what are they going to tell us when they scrape the skin cells off the bricks and the rocks and the sticks? Is there going to be anything from Cody on those sticks, rocks, bricks? Are any of your skin cells going to be on Dominic?
Excuse me? I obviously touched him. I have been doing that for a long time.
Here he is making a statement. An individual with confidence in their statements will place their palms down. Cody has his palms up, showing a lack of confidence in what he's saying is the reason they might find his DNA on Dominic. This position would be one of freedom to be believed, not a position one would typically make if they were certain of...
Guys, I'm the greatest. Okay? I don't know if you knew that, but I'm the greatest.
Every time you've ever said that, I believed it until now. Like, that really does blow the whole sham, dude.
Proof that Shabisky is not the greatest.
I'm in kind of tears from what Skabibi said, man. That was such a nail on the head. I want to talk to the manager.
Yeah.
That was
Too
totally
bad this
the
kid
vibes that
didn't
kid was
actually
getting.
say that. That would be like a great meme. This kid saying that. Let me talk to your manager.
Treat him very nicely.
Yes. That's all I ever done. I don't kill. Stop blaming me for murdering.
Hey, nobody said anything about murder.
Typically, when an individual is innocent, they become angry when falsely accused, while a guilty party will stay calm and try to manipulate their way out of it. The luxury of being out of control and angry isn't something they can afford, as they need the officers to like them. Guilty people are typically more focused on the manipulation of the police officers, and anger doesn't normally make people like other people. However, Cody isn't this sophisticated. He isn't trying to be liked or trying to manipulate the officers. He doesn't realize that he needs to.
Okay. That's what it basically sounds like. I'm not a killer.
We're trying to figure out what happened to him. Okay? You were with him, and you're the one that can tell us what happened.
It's interesting to note here that Cody's anger at the accusation is not a typical reaction seen from guilty suspects.
Excuse me? How am I supposed to know how to tell it? I'm not that clever.
What do you mean?
Who is the killer that actually decides? Anyways, There have been men down there before.
Down in the ravine?
Yeah, lots of people down there.
Who have you seen down the ravine?
Well, I know I saw one guy, but I didn't know who he was. He had a cloak.
Uh-huh.
Like a little, just like Harry Potter, except with a hood.
Okay.
I didn't understand that.
How long
We
ago
saw
was
him
that?
before. I don't know, me and Peanut and Gage.
He's probably the one who
Everybody's
summoned the
Gage.
goblins.
Sorry
The guy
about
in the
that.
cloak.
Yeah.
The guy in the cloak is definitely working with the goblins for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, normal people don't wear cloaks unless you involve yourself in fantasy creatures.
was death.
So I'm following along so far. The guy with the cloak summoned the goblins. The goblins manipulated the kid into hitting himself in the face with the bricks and running away. And this kid obviously is innocent. I can believe that so far. I love the direction the story is going. Like, first it started with goblins. I kind of forgot about that until you brought that back up here.
Well,
And it's like,
that was a one of those drops they do at the beginning of the
yeah,
season
he's
or
gonna
the
get to
episode.
the goblins.
So we're getting to the goblins. We're gonna
Yeah.
find out how the goblins were summoned. It's just what do they call it? The shoe has been dropped. We're starting to realize there's more than meets the eye to the situation. In fact, there's
Who do you think?
element.
Who do you think is going to be the next one that hit the kid in the face with the brick? Because it's going to change from he hit himself. I bet.
Maybe it was the guy in the cloak, but it was probably the goblins.
The guy in the cloak grabbed him and started hitting him in the face with the brick, and I was like, "What the heck? Stop it!"
I think
Anyway, there were
I think the goblins were attacking Dominic, and he was trying to smash the goblins with a brick.
They were having a brick
Off of
fight.
the
The goblins and him were having a brick fight.
Man, this poor fucking kid.
My sister used to do brick fights when we were small.
Yeah.
Now noticing now when we're big, we could have killed each other. We're not throwing small bricks. We're not small bricks, not small dirt rocks. We're throwing big ones at each other. We will dig this little tunnel at one side, and she will be on the other side of the other tunnel, and we'll just toss them. Sometimes we'll grab this little. We made up this little thing. We would call it an air raid. We grab a bunch of little tiny rocks, and we'll toss them up in the air. If it hits her, it hits her. But it's 100 guarantees it's gonna hit.
Dude.
So that's what's
Did
wrong
you
with
grow up in Did you grow up in like Iraq or something? Like all you had, like all you had to play with was rocks.
He used to do some dumb shit. That's why.
When I was a kid, all I had was rocks to
We would
play
take
with.
turns throwing rocks at each other's
We didn't have
heads.
video games, but most of the time I was outside.
Dude, the we would take turns throwing rocks at each other's head thing. It sounds like something like it would have on a cartoon of like a dad talking about what they did as a kid. Like something you
When I
don't
was a
even
kid,
say.
We'd take turns throwing rocks at each other's heads for fun.
Yeah, but that
Wow,
was
that's-
actually Young Mind's real life. Jesus, Young Mind. He's tough as rocks, guys.
It was fun, but it was painful.
Yeah.
If you got hit.
Oh yeah, what? Yeah. All right.
even Will was there back then. But Peanut, Gage, me, Ben, and Will.
Wait, Ben was there. What?
Okay, when was that?
Wow, Ben.
About I don't know.
Did Ben have a brick?
Probably
Oh,
about
Ben wasn't the one with the brick.
probably a long time ago. Long.
Not recent. Not since
I've
Dominic's been there.
seen, but one time when I went on in the ravine on my own, I also saw the same cloaked figure, except inside the ravine, picking up pipes and storing them in his bag.
See, he was
Like
a wizard. He
and
was
there
an
was also a
adventurer.
gun down.
He was looting. So
That's where I get pipes from.
woods in
The ravine. Yeah. Like, the pipe broke in my wall. I gotta replace it. I better go to the ravine. Look around.
Looting.
I hope. Yeah.
He was doing a fetch quest in the woods and had to collect 9 pipes.
That would suck to own all this property and have something like this happen on it.
Yeah,
Like you're just trying to better people's lives that don't have a chance in life, and you know.
yeah,
trying
you
to
gotta
make, like,
feel
productive
bad
members.
for the yeah. If they're just being good parents and taking care of these kids and stuff, then it's like feel bad for them, and that's how it is and stuff. Sometimes stuff happens, you know. You can't control it, huh?
Yeah, Scooby asked if like the cops dressed him in this, or he showed up looking like the Hamburglar. But no, yeah, this is the jumpsuit. This is the colors.
Yeah, I guess they probably had.
He said something like that. I'm not a jail person. You may have dressed me like one.
They probably did that because they had to take his clothing for evidence.
Yep.
So the victim should have set his respawn point. Yeah, see, that's the problem. The problem is he pissed off the cloak guy, and the cloak guy sent his pet goblins after him with bricks, and that was his fault. I told him not to piss off the cloak guy.
Down there. He picked up that and put it in his bag. It had bullets. I know that. Because I checked before. I've seen that done before. I was like this. I hid. He looked my way, and I was like this.
I was like, here, I'll do the face.
I didn't tell anyone.
There, I did it.
I was too scared.
You couldn't see his face, so I'll do it.
So he was there. I didn't know. But I saw footprints. Why the cops... Yeah. Right when the cops came, and they were grabbing me, I noticed footprints. I looked at the corner of my eye, and I saw footprints, big ones. Same exact size as the feet of the cloaked figure. I don't know who he is or where he came from, but I think he hurt Dominic. That would be my guess. He probably tripped him and drowned him, because he doesn't drown that easily. He's a fighter, I know that.
Because he doesn't drown that easily. How do you know?
I've tried, dude.
Yeah, I know from experience. Trust me, he doesn't drown that easily. So the cloak guy must have been real pissed that day.
Because I usually just play around and wrestle with him, but...
This poor kid that died, and this fucking psychopath is just spinning a tail.
Well, the poor kid kept being like, they're gonna adopt me and they're gonna send you back.
They like me better than you.
He's pretty strong with me. He just pushes me down real hard.
Okay, you just said Dominic doesn't drown that easily. Are we gonna find out that he drowned?
That would be my guess.
Okay.
Huh?
Have you ever seen him drown before?
That would be my guess. Like, oh gosh.
Well, he doesn't know how to swim. I know that. I hate that cloaked figure, whoever he is. I hate him for killing Dominic. If he did.
It seems Cody slips up when he says he doesn't drown that easily. He then attempts to cover his tracks by saying that he hates him for killing Dominic. In addition, his statement, if he did, comes across like a qualifying statement. His level of deception isn't sophisticated, and it's as if it's too anxiety-inducing to fully commit to his story.
Do you think he did?
I think so. I saw footprints. I know I did. I'm the one with details. Miss J knows that I talk. Because every time I find stuff, even out of the corner of my eye, I find stuff that no one else sees.
According to psychologists, people who were faking psychosis will...
Yeah, Dirt, babe?
This is just nuts. I feel so bad for this fucking family who's probably
You're
trying to do
nut.
a good thing. Kids at home, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
This sucks.
I feel bad for the dad, because he probably, like, he said he didn't really know the little guy too much. So, like, he probably was like, hey, fucking my wife keeps taking in all these fucking kids. At least it's not cats. At least the fucking kids grow up and get the fuck off my family's land.
God.
I feel bad for him. He's like, I don't even want these fucking hoodlums here.
God.
say things like, I see and hear things that
It's a
aren't
blessing
really
in
there.
disguise, if you ask
But
me.
most people
Oh
that
gosh.
actually have psychosis or delusions
Got
just
rid of
assume
two of
they
them.
notice more or hear more,
God.
that there's an explanation, and that others just don't notice it, especially when they're young and new to the diagnosis. They have no idea they see or hear things that aren't there.
My wife won't let me fuck
This
her,
is a
but she
strong
keeps getting all these
indication that Cody
kids.
does, in fact, suffer from psychosis.
Even in the
Have you seen that
overgrown.
guy in other places other than the ravine?
No. Wait, yeah. Cornfield once. But right by, which is close to our house. Because I was running away before and I saw the cloaked figure watching me. He's like eyeing me. I just booked it. He noticed that I was running away. He smirked. I noticed that. I was like, it's creepy.
Yeah,
So I just ran
when
off.
you're running away from somebody, you can see their face that they're smirking at you. When
Yeah,
you're
I was
running
about
away
to say, like, yeah, you like, that goes to show that if he's actually explaining something that he's being honest about, that he just like completely is delusional about these things. He's seeing it like a movie scene or something, or like a dream or something, where he thinks he thinks that makes sense, where he can see the person's face while running away from them.
Fucking story.
Yeah.
The second time I ran away, I saw him again, smirking. I didn't understand. So I shot at him. He knows I saw him. He
Wait,
ran.
whoa, he shot at him? With what? What did you shoot with?
Now
Literally
suddenly
ran.
there's a gun.
I didn't know he had a gun. I don't think maybe they should have not gave him a gun. I don't know.
They didn't catch his
What's
face.
going on here?
I know one thing. He had discolored eyes. Really weird. Two different colored eyes.
They glowed.
They
You looked at him pretty close to him. Yeah, I was running to the side. I noticed him in the forest. I saw two different colored eyes. I was like, oh. I think one was green. I know one was green. But the other one, I'm not so sure.
Around this time, the detective interviewing the rest of the family asked Don Kuhlman about any strange men he may have seen on his property. And while he had nothing more to give them on strangers in the ravine, he did have a very interesting detail for detectives about Cody.
Cody's an habitual liar. Absolutely nothing comes out of his mouth is true. It takes a long time to get to the bottom. But when it finally does, then usually you can see in his eyes and his face and his mannerisms, and finally you kind of feel that realize he's finally telling the truth. And he'll blame everybody for else, try to make up stories, and none of them jive and none of them match. And I mean, when we were on vacation, he's got into all the little rolls kids eat.
Fruit rolls or something like that.
Yeah, like the little round cupcakes, ho-hos.
Stealing food is a common enough behavior in children who haven't been able to trust that their needs will be provided for by the adults in their lives. It's a trauma response rooted in neglect, as well as a defense mechanism.
They ate the whole box. Well, first he said Rachel did it, then he said Becca did it, and then he said Dominic did it, and then he said this person did it, and that person did it. And there was enough people home that could have done it. So I mean, that's the way he always has been. Like me, stand in the corner or write some sentences or something, and eventually he gets sick of it and tells the truth.
It seems that Cody is used to lying in an attempt to stay out of trouble, which, like stealing food, is a protection mechanism. While this is common in all children, it's especially persistent in children who suffer from neglect and have experienced physical violence.
That's what you were saying, Negan. See, this is why it's good we have Negan here. Professional Negan.
Well, as a kid that seen other kids be abused and shit, my grandparents, they would send me off to this babysitter, and I think I talked about her before. Her name was Aunt Debbie, and she would beat kids with whatever she could get her hands on, and but they were bad kids and shit. And I think the reason why my grandparents would send me there is so I could see how other kids and their parents treated them, and how nice I actually had it and stuff. And Debbie lived right across from the racetrack, and so while my parents would go there, I'd go to Aunt Debbie's house.
It's not nice to beat kids. It's not nice at all.
You know, like, they fucking would, like, punch her and stuff like that. And she was, like, really obese and, like, couldn't, like, move around and stuff. But, like, if she grabbed a hold of you, you were done. Like, you were getting your ass beat. Like...
Damn it, Debbie.
Damn it, Debbie.
Her favorite thing was, like, a Red Ryder BB gun. She would grab it by, like, the barrel and then beat you with, like, the butt of the gun. The stock of the gun.
Crazy broad. I wish we could babysit her for a little bit.
Oh my god.
Response of having done something a parent or guardian considers to be wrong. Parents who behave this way toward children are often inconsistent in determining what makes them angry on any given day. As a result, children who experience this type of treatment cannot clearly establish what is right and what is wrong in the eyes of the parent or guardian. It's important to acknowledge that Cody likely learned this behavior prior to coming to live with his foster parents, and this analysis does not reflect on them.
The worse the problem is, the longer it takes. This, and definitely never tell the truth, at least not all of it, but he might. I don't.
With this in mind, the two exhausted detectives begin to wrap up for the night, as it's now about 2 a.m. The female agent leaves the room to meet up with the other detective who is interviewing the rest of the Coolmans, leaving the male detective to wrap up with Cody.
It's getting later.
What time is it?
2 o'clock.
You mind if I say this word? Crap.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's almost, it's like, I almost want to say it's cute, kinda. He did that. Could I say crap? And he just murdered a kid. Like, right after he done murdered a kid, it's like, can I say quap? Am I allowed to say that?
I'm not even gonna get enough sleep, am I?
Oh my god.
No, how well do you think you're gonna sleep tonight? Think you'll sleep pretty good?
I feel like that's a silly level of strictness with parents to tell your kid that they can't say crap.
Or freaking.
Yeah, something like that. Like it's like crap is. It's kind of a kid word. It's kind of like there's nothing wrong with really saying like crap when something bad happens, whatever. There's like it's obviously I don't know. It's just dumb. That's overly controlling kind of behavior. I think there's a certain limit of control you need to obviously have as a parent. I think, and that's too much. No, you can't say crap, especially if they're like this kid's age. He's 17. I mean, he's disabled mentally, but still, like, let him say crap and freaking even though that's so crazy, right, Negan? It's like
the first time I seen my niece, I seen her when she was born, and then it was like 3 years, and then the next time I seen her, she was like already talking, and the first thing I heard her say was "oh shit," because she dropped something out. Like, she was getting out of the car door, and she dropped something, and she was just like, "oh shit."
Yeah,
it was so cute.
Like, and people probably shouldn't worry about it at all, but I could understand, like, if you have a really young kid, like the 5-year-old here in this story, and you don't want them to be going around saying, like, fucking shit and stuff. And maybe even crap, maybe, when they're at that age, but it's like, when they get, like, older, like, around 10 or something, it's like, who cares if they say crap? Or even if they cuss every now and then and stuff, like, not the end of the world, but like, yeah. Anyways, back to the story. Still got more.
Yeah. I guess not taking my meds will just keep my mind occupied. Anyway. Yeah, I usually just play around. That usually keeps my mind off, or read a book, or even play video.
That's kind of fucked up that they're not giving him his meds. Don't you think that the parents would say like, hey, it's like 10 o'clock and he has to take his meds at 7, like, and here it's 2 a.m. and he still hasn't taken his meds. Like, that's kind of fucked up to do to a 17-year-old kid.
Maybe. I guess it depends on the meds and what exactly they're regulating and what dosage is needed and all that kind of stuff. Maybe it's
Because
not...
I don't think you can be under the influence of stuff while being interrogated.
Yeah, is that...
It might be, I don't know.
I don't think that's it. I'm assuming that the parents... it's probably meds that maybe it's not something that needs to be taken all the time. Like he can take them as long as he takes them regularly. It's probably something along the lines of that, because he was talking about other days where he didn't take his meds and stuff, and I assume that it's something like that. It's and plus they're trying to interrogate him and the meds make him tired. It sounds like, and make him go to sleep. So if they talk to the parents and the parents are like, yeah, he doesn't really need to take them. He could take them in the morning or whatever, and you guys can keep interrogating him, and then, maybe that was the right choice so that they focus on it while it's still fresh and everything, It sounds like other nights he's not doing it too. I don't know.
I wonder if on like the ride home, the dad like looked to his wife and was like, how about we get a dog?
How about we get a dog next instead, honey?
God damn.
That's actually pretty funny.
It will take my mind off anything. I'll try to get my mind off of it. I try and try. That's why I'm reading right now. Accidents have occurred when family members have borrowed or loaned a firearm and returned.
What had happened with Dominic tonight's gotta be hard to forget. It's gonna be,
if you ask me,
it's gonna be a load.
How many times have you seen a child be murdered?
More than once.
Okay. So then it could be anything. It could be anyone that is a child murderer. We have possibly a lot of suspects.
Not really.
Well, I do know that.
I love his response there. Not really.
Not really.
Yeah, it's like
Jesus Christ.
He does. I love how the kid does not at all read what he just got told. Basically,
Yeah.
It's like he just keeps blabbing and doesn't. He just goes right over it. Doesn't even realize. Like,
this is insane.
I think the cop realizes too that the kid won't realize it. Like,
Yeah.
I think the cop knows that he won't. I could tell him right now that you're fucked, and he still won't get it.
He's hinting it to him, but if he straight up just said that, the kid would probably start freaking out again. That was a funny response. Yet, not really.
The other guy was possibly brown because it was a little bit darker.
No, I don't think we're gonna focus on him too much tonight.
Yeah, not for now. But if I see him again, I'm gonna shout, if you're there, I'm gonna kill you.
He really said beep.
Beep.
I bet he'll just smile.
That's what we should start doing for my streams, so we get good monetization. It's just like, what the beep is up? Dirt beep.
Dude, that's some beep.
Mother
beep,
beeper.
beep.
Yeah.
That's some beep beep beep. I'm telling you that right
No,
now, bro.
no beep, Dirt. No beep. Damn.
Yeah, I have a feeling we won't run into him.
I have a feeling.
I have a feeling that I won't be running into him, so.
I have a feeling that I might.
Might.
Because so far in my life, when I was with Miss Egg, I've been running into him for a while.
She kind of show up when bad things happen?
Mm-hmm. He shows up every time.
Every time.
Right outside the house, in the woods, hidden. Except I could see him.
Right.
Pathetic hider, if you ask me, but I just couldn't. I didn't understand that. So maybe he was good at hiding, but not to my eyes.
Sure.
I don't know what's going on.
But this time he was around when something really, really bad happened.
Yep. Something that's not supposed to happen.
It wasn't supposed to. But it did happen. But it wasn't supposed to. I know. It wasn't supposed to.
Yet I saw footsteps go farther down the ravine. What I'm going to do is try to track him down a little bit. See where he hides. If I find something, I'll tell you. Okay?
Alright.
Because there might be more information on
This
him.
fucking cop. I don't know how he's
This
stone
kid-
facing it. He needs to have a partner
Yeah.
in here right now to just like tell him, like, look, kid, cut the shit. Like this is stupid. You're not going anywhere tonight, dude.
Yeah.
I think he's waiting for the investigation. Like right now, it's kind of on pause, so he's not trying to do too much there.
I guess.
And
It's insane,
they
man.
probably work as a team, and they both are like he knows that they both like they do better probably working together than him just trying to do it solo or something.
Yeah.
So he's trying to wait until they can go
Making
get back
the-
to it.
Making the kid think that he can help catch this other person is like making the kid think like he's built a rapport with them that the kid like can
Yeah.
trust the cops now, and like then he's gonna
Well-
actually tell the truth.
Well, we haven't even seen the cop's response to this. The cop might just remain silent, or this might be where the cop's like, no, yeah, you're not gonna need to do that. I don't know. We'll see. Oh god, this is probably like we've seen some fucked shit, but this is probably one of like the weirdest ones for me. Like this is fucked.
Yeah, it's
I
crazy.
think the one that was just me and Shabs, that one was like really. It was the one where Young Minded was like, "Yeah, I'm here," and then, "Yeah, I'm leaving. I can't handle this one."
Oh no.
Which one was it?
It was like the black chick. I think killed her
Shit.
kid.
The baby
Yeah,
on the kitchen
Yeah.
counter.
yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that one was bad. Yeah. Like, I didn't even think that Spec was capable of this kind of shit, but like, this is crazy. This is a crazy story, huh, Dirt?
Where he lives. Who knows?
Like I said, I'm not too.
You think Spec will see this? That'll be great.
What?
Whoever
Why do
this
you
guy
keep
is,
referring to
I'm
Spec?
gonna see what I can do.
Oh, no reason.
Okay,
No reason at all.
I don't know who that
I
is.
have an eye for detail.
Don't worry. Dirt likes when I make these references, though. He finds it hilarious.
Who knows what this guy's been up to? But please don't tell Miss J this, otherwise she's gonna go out of whack.
I think she has enough
To worry about.
to concern herself with right now.
Exactly. That's the reason why I don't want to worry her anymore. That's the reason why we shouldn't tell her this. Otherwise, she'll be much more worried.
You shouldn't tell her what.
This guy. The guy I'm telling you.
I won't bring him up at all.
I don't think anyone should. But I will try to find something about him.
Like I said.
They're
I know, I'm just saying. If there's
gonna hire him to go after the cloak guy. This will definitely end well. Gonna finally find the cloak guy.
anything else I can do that I can find out about him, I'll try to see if I can.
The only thing
Is
else,
there maybe some
the only thing else that you can do
valuable
is, well, I think all the valuable information can come from Cody.
Hey,
But it's up to you.
I already told you as much information as I can.
I don't know.
Is he just talking to Cody and talking in a third person about Cody to Cody?
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
What, you think I have it stored up?
I ain't mad at you. No worries. I do, though. Yeah.
I'm not mad at you.
But that's just me.
Hey, I have a lot of memory here, but not a lot. Enough to actually memorize everything.
Right.
Except for the guy's 2 different colors.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he
juggernaut-
smirked at me as I ran away, and all the footsteps he left down the ravine.
Yeah, I know exactly what his footsteps look like. I've been investigating him for years.
You see, I have a foot fetish, and I know everybody's footprints.
Oh, damn.
Not memory in here, but because Miss A has seen me solve puzzles like none other.
Right.
Like none other.
She's like this. Cause I was,
You agree? He can solve. Do you guys think he can really solve puzzles like none other?
And when Miss J sees him complete them, you couldn't see his face when he did it, so I'll do the face. She goes like this.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a.
This is insane.
I love that you have a green screen, Shaps. I hope somebody edits something whenever you make that face.
Yeah. Wouldn't want somebody to Photoshop a cock in my mouth. That would be horrible. Oh, I would just run away from, never come back to the internet if someone did that. I would be ruined.
I was playing the game that was a puzzle solver.
Be so embarrassed.
How'd you get through that so fast? Well, I'm a puzzle solver. What do you expect?
The only puzzle that I have right now that I can't quite put together, and it's up to you, but my question is, because I don't know you that well. I just know you a little bit.
I know, I can understand that.
And what I do know of you, I mean, you're a pretty laid-back kid, you're funny, got a huge imagination, very active, you know? Yeah.
Pretty athletic at school.
He's liking these compliments. Yeah, like I'm pretty awesome. I agree. Like I'm athletic. I'm super smart and stuff. Let's go on. What else am I?
Brick, huh?
Yeah, I'm a really good brick hitter. You know, I could really hit someone really well with a brick. But we'll talk about that another time. Huh?
I'm good at shot put.
Good at what?
Bricks.
Oh, yeah.
Shot put.
Yeah.
And I guess the only thing that I can't figure out that only you could answer for me was, you know, down there with Dominic, was it an accident or was it on purpose?
I know it was an accident.
That's the only thing I can't figure out.
I know it was an accident, because that rope was not, I made sure it was tight and good. I made sure the log was made sure not to be broken. I tested it, I jumped on it.
Here, the investigator has posed the alternative question, as he's given Cody 2 choices for what happened, one being more socially acceptable than the other. Cody plays right into his hands and chooses the more acceptable option, which is still an admission of guilt.
So then
It was dirty.
How did it break?
I don't know. But I know there are a lot of termites over at the house, and even house, like wood ants. Ever heard of those?
Mm-hmm.
Those things are everywhere in our area.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably been chewed up by that. What's going on? So it's probably been chewed up by those ants. Because I noticed that there were colonies of ants pouring out of the log, so I knew it was probably ants. So I know it was an accident, but Dominic didn't.
Do you find yourself thinking about death and stuff a lot?
Yeah. I think that I just keep on thinking that I might die.
Well,
In
we're
a
all
different fate
gonna
that
die.
is so difficult to complicate.
Not me.
As soon as the detective leaves the room, Cody makes a grab for one of the pieces of equipment
Okay.
lying on the
Okay, this is where it gets weird, I think.
Oh no.
Because he's being left
Yeah,
alone.
'cause- yeah, this
He's
is
rooting
where-
around.
Well,
yeah, he's literally.
well, no, he's alone in a room and he doesn't know he's being recorded here.
table
This is what
nearest
it's all
him.
about.
He stares at it for a minute before seeming to come to a realization about what it could be.
Yeah, huh? Okay.
What was the thing on the desk that he picked up?
An
I
audio
think a phone.
recorder.
Oh. Tape
Oh,
recorder.
is that what that is?
Let's see how much you like it. Hmm?
We've seen something similar like this.
You
When
really
he
don't
realizes
know
he
what
was
I
like,
know,
"Oh,
huh?
okay, now I know
Okay.
you're listening."
Yeah, that was that really weird guy, and that had the little girl involved that was like underage and shit.
Let's
I
see
missed
how
that
it is.
one.
Yeah.
I won't tell you anything else. Unless you record.
Huh.
Alright, where were we at there? And notice you're recording this.
Yeah, I record everything.
So here he's gonna talk to him like this is going in the direction I think where he's gonna be like he's gonna bitch him out about it like can't believe you were recording me.
Yeah, you know what? I record everything. I'd be like, let me see what you were doing in your bedroom last night, then, big boy.
What the?
That way I don't have to sit there and write all the time. We can just talk and listen.
I didn't expect you to do that. I found out that that was a recorder. I thought it was something else. Because I picked it up because I was wondering.
The investigator has shown signs of irritation with Cody several times previous to this most recent foot tap. His leg has been twitchy. He switched to closed-off body language and barrier positions with his leg a few times. He doesn't appear to have much internal patience with Cody's childishness and emotional ability. Externally, however, it seems he's doing everything he can to stay patient and keep
He's
Cody
trying,
talking.
dude. This is a hard.
Mhm.
Well, guess what?
What?
I'm not telling you anything else. I don't like recorder people. I'm not much of a media person. Thank you very much.
It was at this point Cody refused to speak further with investigators, and they eventually would move him into custody for the rest of the night. Cody may not have admitted to what he'd done, but at this point it was obvious to the detectives that he had killed
I don't like recorder people.
his foster brother. Though now they would have to turn to the rest of the Kuhlman family for why Cody had done something like this.
Like I said, Cody lived with us for several years, and he was very sweet. You know, had an issue stealing things, you know, especially food, and just had weird things he would do to break the rules, but he never was malicious. It's like he had no inhibitions, he had no, self-control, but he was never malicious. You know, he was a sweet kid. And Dominic, of course, was 5, so he was just kind of really displaying a personality at that age, but he was very, very sweet. He was very cuddly, you know, and he and Cody got along great. They played all the time. They followed each other around the house, you know, and we all kind of commented on that they mentally seemed to be at the same level. We all thought it was pretty cool, honestly, at the time, that they kind of both had a buddy.
Cody seemed to genuinely adore Dominic, and he had no actual history of seriously injuring another person, either before or after being placed with the Kuhlmans. Whatever violence he displayed seemed to be confined entirely to temper tantrums, bouts of screaming and yelling. He never expressed a desire to hurt anyone else. Detectives found themselves struggling to come up with a reason for this crime, since no one had an idea for what could possibly have been Cody's motive. The rest of the family, Cody's teachers, friends of the Kuhlmans, all were at a complete loss for why.
I just want to say
Cody's background.
Yeah, Grandma?
Danny, so it was really strange, a moment I had there where, you know, the dark details were being described and I was just sitting here smiling. Fucking Danny's over here making me smile while I'm fucking trying to listen to some depressing ass
Nope,
shit.
you just like 5-year-olds dying, you piece of shit. Fuck you. Fuck you, dirt.
You know what I think honestly happened?
I
think
want to
that-
know what you think.
Oh God.
I
think
I'm not making a sick joke or nothing. I'm
Okay,
being
all right,
for
let's hear
reals.
it. Let's hear it
I
for
think they
realsies.
were playing and the 5-year-old like pissed off the 17-year-old and then the little one like went to go like on the rope swing and fell and like cried and got up and then like the Cody kid like ran down there and freaked out and instead of like helping him he panicked and just started smashing his face in.
I think it's more along the lines of the 5-year-old did something like hit the 17-year-old out of anger of something he did. He like they got into some sort of dispute over like who's the who's the king of in this
Yeah.
game they're playing or something like that. Like, no, I want to be it. And I imagine the little kid threw a rock at him or something like that, hit him, and the 17-year-old reacted by like hitting him with a brick or something like that really quick out of anger, and then after that thought that he had to get like maybe finish the job and get rid of it because he's gonna be in trouble. Just like basically
I don't
hide,
think that
something like that. I don't know.
I don't think he tried hiding it or whatever. He just panicked. Because they talked about the rope swing being broke and it being down in the water or whatever too, and I think the kid fell like he swung in the rope and then when he fell and he stood up and that's like when the kid said that he was like at the top of the hill, but then he was like I never went down there, but like I think he actually did go down there and there was like had to be a brick or something at the bottom down there, you know, that they probably like threw like a previous time or whatever, and he picked up the brick and hit the kid because the kid was probably crying and freaking out because he just fucking fell from a rope swing into it doesn't seem like a big crick, doesn't seem like something you could swim into if you
Big
can lay
crick.
down in the face. Yeah.
Crick. Yeah, I guess my idea of the story doesn't include the rope thing going on, which I guess is part of the story here. They mentioned it. I don't know, let's see where it goes. Cody, you better tell us. We need to know the truth.
May
Cody.
offer some insight, though it was revealed much later in the investigation. As it turns out, he allegedly witnessed physical abuse in his original home, although whether Cody was ever directly a target of this abuse is unclear. Cody reportedly cowered severely, huddling on the floor whenever reprimanded by men with raised voices, sometimes staying in a crouched position for up to 20 minutes before slowly getting back to his feet, indicating that he may have had an even more troubled past than caseworkers knew about. As well, Cody's mental challenges, such as his diagnosed ADHD, may be a result of both genetics and the substances his mother used while pregnant with him, specifically meth, which she stated at his trial was at least $20 worth every day for the first 3 months. Prenatal meth exposure
Jesus
can lead
Christ, smoking that much meth while
That's
pregnant.
that's a teenth. So those little baggy worth of meth.
Every single day. She was a regular.
I knew
user.
people that were doing meth and they were going through like a teenth like every 6 days or something like that.
Yeah, she's doing it every day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's heavy.
what a fucking cunt. Fuck her.
developmental
It's
delays.
like no wonder this kid's so fucked up. Like, seriously.
Including cognitive impairments, problems with attention and memory, and difficulties with motor skills. Additionally, children exposed to meth in utero have an increased risk of developing behavioral issues, such as ADHD, impulsivity, aggression, and difficulty with self-regulation. In hindsight, Dominic being placed in a home with Cody may have been a disaster waiting to happen. Rachel Kuhlman, now an adult working as a highly respected Army medic despite only being in her early 20s, sums it up best.
I mean, there's so many things, that could be said that, this should not have been allowed or this shouldn't have happened. But there was no predicting this.
Right.
And there was no avoiding it. If it didn't happen that night, he very easily could have attacked Dominic another night, or he could have attacked me or my sister, or he could have never done it. But there is no knowing.
Right.
I have been under the opinion that Dominic should not have been placed with us. Just because, in hindsight, it's obvious that he shouldn't have been. But again, at the time, there was no knowing. And
right. You can't forecast this.
Yeah.
If you thought he was odd in interrogation, just wait, because he saved his strangest story for trial. It was then that the truly ridiculous final excuse Cody gave for his actions was revealed. On the 5th of November 2014, Cody testified that he did, in fact, kill Dominic by smashing his face with the brick and holding his head under the water at the bottom of the ravine. This is obviously quite a departure from Cody's earlier statements of Dominic inflicting his own injuries and the mysterious cloaked man with one green eye, although Cody still maintains his innocence. You see, that day he claimed he didn't actually think he was killing his foster brother with a brick, but that he was slaying the goblin commander of the goblin army with a shining sword and the brick. Yes, you heard that right. A goblin commander. Cody claims he was so deep in his fantasy world at the time of the killing that he didn't even realize the person he was hurting was actually Dominic. This was also a departure from his story about the Percy Jackson game, especially since there don't seem to be any goblins in the Percy Jackson universe. Instead, Cody was now saying these were the goblins from the video game franchise, Skylanders. As bizarre as this...
See, the games are to blame. Games are to blame.
We asked Rachel for her thoughts.
Do you remember much about what was said about Cody? And, there was one time where someone, he used a defense of like, hey, there were goblins and I was trying to intervene and, what do you remember? And now that you're older, what do you think about what you heard?
Oh, well, I remember it being very hushed. People did not talk about it. At least not when, I was in the room or my sister was around, people did not talk about it. It must have been maybe my parents who mentioned it. But I do remember hearing that, he was pleading insanity. And that was what he said, that he saw goblins and that he thought Dominic was some sort of monster. And it wasn't surprising that was Cody's story. Because he was extraordinarily imaginative. He could sit down by himself and just create this huge elaborate story, and he would sit there and act it out and talk to himself and move, and he could be entertained by himself like that for hours.
Well,
and he loved video games, and he loved anything that he could explore with his imagination was something he really enjoyed. So yeah, I remember, I carried a lot of anger for a long time. So I think there was a part of me then that didn't want to believe him, but looking back on it now as an adult, I don't have any idea what he was thinking, but I do know he was extremely cognitively delayed, and he very well could have hallucinated and thought that he was fighting some sort of monster. That's not far-fetched at all.
However, there is an odd discrepancy about Cody's
I
goblin
don't know,
commander.
Pause. Man, Red Eye said it right. Repeated lies. He knew what he did was wrong. Throw him in a deep hole. That's maybe a little extreme. But, yeah, he didn't mention no goblins here, dude. he was talking about a man in a cloak, and I think he's just using this fantasy world he's created to think, if I can convince myself this is real, maybe I can convince a cop this is real. I don't know.
I agree with that, Dirt. I think he's smarter than what he's
not even
putting out.
smarter. I mean, that would, I guess require a degree of intelligence that would, suggest that he didn't hallucinate goblins. Because I think if he was hallucinating goblins, he would have been talking about the fucking goblins. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that he probably doesn't understand the idea of pleading insanity over not. So the only reason he would do that is just so people don't think think of him badly or something.
I mean, it's a lawyer probably helped him come up with this.
Yeah, maybe. But at the same time, I don't know. When somebody's very they have mental issues and stuff, it also wouldn't surprise me for them to have some sort of maybe hallucination issues or something like that every now and then. I don't know. Maybe.
I feel like if he genuinely hallucinated seeing goblins, he would have mentioned fucking goblins and not just a mysterious cloaked figure with one green eye.
Yeah, you're probably right. It probably just would have started with that if that was the truth, because that makes a lot of sense. That to go towards believing that it's probably a lie is that, there's no reason for him to go off talking about some other stuff that he made up if he could just tell the truth that's already fitting the.
If he told him he saw goblins, they would never believe him. So,
but I saw a cloaked guy.
Yeah.
It's a good thing that he's so creative and imaginative, and he even though he's good at puzzles and he likes to read and stuff, I think all his puzzles are gonna have a few missing pieces, and a few of the books he's gonna be reading are gonna have pages ripped out and stuff like that. So good for him to have an imagination, and he can imagine what the puzzle looks like finished.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, just a couple more minutes.
Story. At the time Dominic died in 2013, there were 3 Skylanders video games out, and they feature creatures called trolls, not goblins. Now, this is actually an important distinction, because not only is it rather odd that someone so obsessed with the game's mythos would get such a base...
That is very important.
That cracked Danny up. But what he didn't realize is there were no goblins in
What an idiot. What a noob.
Inspired Skylanders.
Noob. Doesn't even know the game. What the hell?
What
Get
the
out of here,
fuck?
noob.
That's when we knew he was lying.
That's how we got him.
I played the game and he's full of shit.
There are no goblins.
But this might be an indication Cody is lying.
I'm thinking of the
This
cop
is
from South
particularly
Park.
interesting because if this is indeed what Cody is referencing in his testimony, then it couldn't have been what he was allegedly seeing in August 2013. A goblin commander doesn't appear until Skylanders Trap Force, the 4th game in the
Yeah, it doesn't appear until you hit level 30.
Oh,
okay,
dude,
it doesn't appear until you hit level 30 and level 4, and he wasn't even in level 4, he said. Okay?
Wait. This is fucking weird, because so there's two options here. There's 2 possible paths to the way this reality occurred. Either this kid is from the future and played a version of Skylanders Trap Force before it was released, or the company that makes Skylanders saw this and was like, maybe the game could use a goblin commander.
I think that's what happened, dude. I think somebody working on the game heard about this case being involved, and they're like, goblins? A guy with a cloak and mixed eyes? That's pretty different. Let's do it.
I'm using that. Fuck yeah, dude. I'm thinking maybe that is the reality of this. That seems too weird. Goblin commander. Or maybe it's just proof that that if you're retarded, you're also a psychic. I'm sorry.
Which came out on October 5th, 2014.
Oh, that's my
only a
birthday,
month
October
before
5th.
Cody's testimony.
Yay!
Considering how many outlandish lies Cody has told up to this point, it doesn't seem like too much of a stretch to imagine that when coming up with the latest lie, he simply incorporated details from the game he was playing at the time of his trial. This is pure speculation, mostly because we couldn't find any information on where Cody was being held before his trial, but we thought it was intriguing nonetheless. In Cody's news story, he asserted that he had been in his own world during the time of the killing, and therefore couldn't remember it at all. The defense called a psychiatrist to testify.
We can hear from your thing, Negan. We can hear
Oh. You hear what?
We're just hearing the video. We're hearing his voice here in the video.
Oh.
We're playing there.
By that, yes, Cody could have very well been engulfed in a highly immersive fantasy which led to an almost psychotic break, where he killed his foster brother without realizing it. Yet the prosecution called their psychiatrist to say no. Cody not only remembers exactly what he did to Dominic, but he actively lied to investigators and made up elaborate stories to hide his role in the killing. In cross-examination, Cody admitted he told different people different stories based on symbols he could see floating above their heads, which indicated whether or not he could trust.
It's like The Sims. We all have things floating above our heads. But certain ones indicate certain things, like whether you're a good guy or a bad guy. I want to live in this world with Cody. I love this.
Them. Again, this seems suspect, as he told 3 separate lies to the same pair of investigators within the span of a single
Yeah, but they all had different things above their head. Pay attention, guy in this video, idiot. The fuck?
As is often the case, the truth probably lies somewhere in the middle of the prosecution's story and the defense's. Regardless of what was actually going through his head that day, Cody Metzker-Madsen was found not guilty by reason of insanity in November 2014. It seems this finding is often misunderstood. It must be established that at the time of committing the offense, due to mental disease or defect, the defendant was incapable of either knowing or understanding the nature and quality of his or her act, or distinguishing the difference between right and wrong. Insanity is evaluated at the time the defendant committed the offense, so a person may appear sane later and may even understand how irrational their actions were. But the question is, what was their state of mind at the time of the crime? It's also important to consider Cody's cognitive and developmental delays. It's surprising that he was found competent to stand trial, as in most states a child under the age of 10 cannot be prosecuted. Since it seems that there was a consensus that his mental capacity was under the age of 10, it's remarkable that he was able to meet the requirements for competency. And those involved believe it's likely he will spend the rest of his life in a mental health facility.
Let's hope.
Damn. Police pursuit in Compton.
Police pursuit in Compton. Okay, so, alright, so, in the end, it turns out it was the goblins, guys. I'm glad.
Skylanders, dude. And
Goddamn
if you do,
goblins.
please, whatever you do, don't use the goblin command.
Yeah, don't fuck with that guy. He kills 5-year-olds for fun. He's fucked up.
That's the only one I'm gonna use.
Oh my god.
If you see a goblin in the woods, don't go near it.
Don't go near a goblin in the woods.
Or a
Sage
cloaked green
advice,
figure.
no
Green-eyed
cloaked
figure.
figures, dude. No cloaked figures. Fuck his eyes. If you see a cloaked figure in the forest collecting pipes and storing them in his bag for loot later, do not approach the wizard.
Well, first
Not a
look
good
at the
idea. He
symbol
summoned
above.
goblins.
First look at the
Well,
symbol above their head,
true.
then
See
decide
if you
whether
can
to
trust
move.
him. Because
Yeah.
the symbol that floats above his head will
If
tell
it's
you whether or not you
green,
can trust
then go ahead. If it's red, get the fuck out of there.
Yeah,
Okay.
if it says
green, go
Negan,
ahead. Red, you're dead. That's what they say. That's what all wizards say.
Yeah.
if it says Negan the Goblin Queen, then run away.
Yeah, get the fuck out of there, and block your butt cheeks while you're getting out of there too. Like,
Oh my
You never know.
God.
You gotta be careful. Okay, so how come nobody tipped during this stream? What are you guys all? Are you guys all racist in the chat? I'm gonna assume everybody in the chat is racist, and that's the reason why nobody tipped this stream. That's fucked up.
They don't like
Just-
Italianos like Shabisky. What's up with that, Paisano? You ain't got $1 to spare for.
No, it's just because Negan's black. Okay, that's fucked up, guys. Leave my black
No.
friend Negan alone.
I'm not
Okay?
black. Oh, I'm black. So, oh man, you should not give Negan this power to say.
Oh, end the stream before she does it. End the stream.
All right. So I guess I'm gonna end this stream and maybe move over to. I don't know what time is it. 7. I'll maybe stream here in a little bit on the other channel. On the Shabisky channel. We got 10 people watching on Rumble, but nobody's been talking in the Rumble chat for some reason. What a bunch of dorks. Okay. So, alright, I'm gonna end this stream. Give this stream a like if you haven't yet, guys.